Whatever shit, Timmy's here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10 and 20 this week. All right. Now, the films that are celebrating its 10th anniversary. I remember seeing some of these in there as well. Not to mention, I probably only saw one of these films that week, and then I had to wait the following week to see majority of the other ones because if you guys we're aware, this same week last year we also had Hurricane Sandy also happen, and I remember before theaters closed because of the pandemic. The theaters, of course, closed that week because blackout and everything. So majority of these movies I had to wait till the following week, but they still came out that week. Maybe the box office got a little hurt there, but anyway. All right. Here are the films turning 10. All right. First up, we got the comedy film Fun Size. Now this of course got released around now this was actually the movie I was the only film this was I was able to in the 10-year one that is I was actually able to see the actual week because the hurricane didn't really happen till like the day after. But anyway, now Fun Size was of course pretty much a Nickelodeon based film, which was maybe one of their raunchiest ones to date. Yeah, whenever you think of Nickelodeon, obviously you think of kid friendly stuff. But yeah, this was pretty much one of Nickelodeon. It wasn't rated R, nothing like that, but it was a little more grown up than their majority of the films. Anyway, Fun Size was of course led by Victoria Justice, from Victoria's fame. You also had Thomas Mann, Jane Levy, and if you guys don't know much about the story here, it tells the story of a teen girl's Halloween plans that goes everywhere when she's made to babysit for her younger brother, who disappears into a sea of trick or treaters, and with her best friends and two nerds at her side, she needs to find her brother before her mom realizes he's missing. You also had Thomas Middleditch from Silicon Valley fame. Giant Knoxville had a fun cameo in this, pretty much playing the villain if you look at it. Chelsea Handler was also here. Now, Fun Size did not really get great reviews, and it was a complete bomb when it got released. But I tell you right now, Fun Size was awesome. I'm sorry, I had a fun time with this. Victoria Justice, it was really cool seeing her really branching out outside Victoria's, and I thought she was really fun here. Her chemistry with Jane Levy was great. Really funny to see that like a year after Jane Levy also did Evil Dead, like a year after this. So yeah, but that aside, Fun Size was a really fun Halloween film here, and I'll also be getting into Giant Knoxville, here in a second, too, by the way. All right. Also turning 10 is a not so good Wachowski film, Cloud Atlas. Now, it stars a really cool cast that includes the likes of, Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Jim Broadbent, Hugh Grant was in this. You had Jim Sturgis. Of course, you might know that the Wachowskis are more best known for directing The Matrix, the movie Bound, which Chucky just premiered, and man, it was cool seeing that Bound reunion, by the way. But anyway, to change subjects here. If you guys don't know much about Cloud Atlas, it's where like actors take on multiple roles in an epic that spans 5 centuries, and this movie is completely boring. I mean, yeah, the Wachowskis. I didn't mind the last Matrix, but even that wasn't all that great, But yeah, the Wachowskis has really lost their edge, which is a shame because they gave us the Matrix, but yeah, their other recent stuff just has not really hit out the park. And Cloud Atlas was one of them, and yeah, was not all that big with Cloud Atlas. All right, we also got Silent Hill Revelation. Now, of course, Silent Hill was in the news recent because there is a new Silent Hill movie in the works. But of course, there was Silent Hill Revolution that had the likes of Kit Harington, Malcolm McDowell, Rodder Mitchell, Sean Bean. I remember seeing this one in 3D. It was not so good. I mean, it was so really. The 3D aspect was cool and everything, and it had some cool stuff going for it, but it just did not really hit out the park. It was not even all that scary as the 2006 one. Hopefully, the new Silent Hill movie, which is supposed to be from the same director of the first film. Hopefully, that will bring back to what made Silent Hill really fun. All right. There's also Chasing Mavericks, which was a really decent, surfing based film that starred Gerard Butler, and it was actually directed by Sally Childers. Directed this. Sally no longer with us. It was co-directed by 8 Mile director Curtis Henson, and Enough director Micah Aptat. Sally, they passed away. But Chase Maverick was a really decent inspirational surfing film. Gerard Butler and Johnny Weston both had really cool chemistry together, so not a bad film there. All right, now lots of stuff turning 20 this week. First, speak of John Knoxville, by the way. First up, the one turning 20. We just had Forever out this year, but 20 years ago, the Jackass gang made their film debut with Jackass the Movie back in 2002. And Jackass the Movie is really entertaining. I mean, I used to always like the Jackass show when it was on MTV, and when they actually did, obviously I was a little too young to see this in theirs, but I still remember watching on TV and all. It was still really entertaining. The stunts are just outstanding. So yeah, a really cool first installment. Then of course we will go on to get Jackass 2, 3D, Bad Grandpa, which maybe was my favorite out of the franchise. But all right. Also trying 20, we got Frida, which is a biopic that depicts the professional private life of Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. This, of course, had Salma Hayek playing the role. You had Antonio Banderas. You also had Ashley Joe was also in this, directed by Across the Universe director Julie Taymor. Frida is a really intriguing story about one of the most iconic artists of our time. May one of Salma Hayek's best performances here. This, of course, scored lots of Oscar nominations at the time, so really decent film. All right, we also got Ghost Ship, which had Julian Margulies and it follows like a marine salvage crew in the Bering Sea who discovered the mysterious ocean liner that disappeared in 1962, and Ghost Ship is pretty bad, so there's that. We also got Paid in Full, which the characters Ace, Mitch, and Rico are fictionally based on the 1980s Harlem drug dealers AZAZ, Faison, Rich Porter, Alpha Martinez, and the film Isabel from the 1987 album and song by Eric B. and Rakim. Paid in Full, which there is actually talked about a sequel, was really a cool film. Guy Pfeiffer was great. Wood Harris, Kamran was also in this. Really cool film there. Other films turning 20, we got The Truth About Charlie, which starred Mark Wahlberg and Tanner Nguyen. Dodger, which had Campbell Scott, a young Jesse Eisenberg. And last but not least, we had Waking Up Reno, which had Natasha Richardson, Billy Bob Thornton, Patrick Swayze, Charlize Theron. So yeah, it had some really cool films that came out 20 years as well. But yeah, I feel old just to talk about these. Anyway, let me let you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one, believe it or not, it's actually going to be Fun Size. And the 20-year one, boy, this is a giant awful day because I'm going with Jackass. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon Siren.